How's it going, everybody? My name is Splattercat, and welcome to the next episode of our Let's Play of Warlock, Master of the Arcane. So, coming to your respective domicile, I'm here once again to show off our little civilization, and I actually hear that the Horns of War are on the distance, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. It's a new turn, it is a new day, and it is a new moment in which we can take stock of what we have going and figure out how we want to proceed with the rest of our gameplay. So, we have some construction ready to go, and we're going to take a look here. And it looks like Crypt Town, which actually I have to rename this. And I promised, Chickenville. There we go. I promised that that's what it would be named. And so there it is, Chickenville. Hopefully it stays that way. Sometimes it renames. It doesn't really like to stay what you want it to stay. And it looks like we got some beat up hunters down here. God. Alright, anyways. Let's take a look at our construction. Now, here in Chickenville, we have a little bit of a situation. And I think the best thing that we can really go with here is another mana vault, because I'd really like to go mano a mano with Rajak when it comes to bombarding each other's cities and things. He's been able to do a much better job than I have. Let's pan through and figure out what freebie shots we have on everything. And it looks like we've got a little bit of bear action here. And we're going to, let's throw some troops at these bears, see if maybe we can get them eliminated. And it's weird that they didn't rout right there. Normally they rout after they take a reasonable hit like that. And let me put some arrows on them, and these archers should finish off that grouping. Fantastic, because you don't want these bears roaming around. Hopefully we can get somebody down here in just a moment to eliminate the rest of their defenses. Now, I don't know if I want to break off the attack up here. Let's just pan through our available city attacks for now. And it looks like these ratmen are available to be bombarded, so I'm going to allow that to happen. And hopefully we can just get them out of the way completely, but it doesn't look like they're going to be obliging in that sense. So let's take our wolves. Yeah, I think that'll work. We'll get them out of here with the wolves. Maybe the wolves will gain a level, but we need these dens to go away. There was a monster invasion fairly recently, so we need to make sure that we start cleaning out, digging out the foxholes, basically, making sure that every little corner is accounted for. Now, is that a hero? Oh, tell me that's not a hero, right? Is that my hero? That's my hero. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to go back to our territory here, I think. And we're going to break off this attack, because where we're at right now, I'm not positive that we can conclude this evasion properly now that what appears to be King Lich declaring war on us has occurred. So we're going to bear that in mind for the time being. We're also going to put a healing spell on our ogre hero, because we want to make sure that he doesn't get taken out by a random fireball. So there it is, and we'll put that on him. And that's making him fireball proof. Now we may lose the dwarves if he decides to bombard them. I can't guarantee they'll survive a direct hit from a fireball. We just kind of have to roll with it and hope it turns out okay. It looks like we've got a little bit of a infestation problem. So Clark, we definitely need you. For the time being, I'm going to assume that all these archers are named Clark. It's just a big old group of Clarks. And that final fireball should handle that issue. And so there it is. We've got another group of skeleton settlers there that's making me a little nervous, but I am going to claim that garbage dump and then send them back. I can't guarantee they won't get hit with some kind of bombardment fairly soon. And I'm also going to put a little bit of damage on that tower because I don't like it looking at me. He's got this weird tendency. I've actually never seen the AI just completely line all their stuff with those before, but apparently that's what they've decided to do, so we're not going to stress about it too much now. All the units that are over here, I'm probably going to direct them probably center mass right here, just to make sure that if King Lich comes storming in, he's had a little bit of time to gather his troops, but I know he's been pretty hard at war with Nicholas Frost up here, so I'm not really too positive what he's going to come at me with. I don't really know what he's going to have in his back pocket. Now, we do have the opportunity to knock out Horrorville, quite possibly. And let me see, what's the HP looking like right here? 109. So yeah, that's a lot of HP. I actually don't think we're going to be able to conclude this invasion either, unfortunately. So I think what I'm going to do is we will, yeah, let's get some wolves shot at. See if we can get them taken care of. And then we're going to do our best to not rout. I'm not going to call this a rout because we're not engaged in direct combat at the moment, so I don't think it counts as a rout. However, we are going to get ourselves out of this situation, kind of see if we can unstick ourselves from this predicament. And do they have any attack left? No, they don't, but they're going to take some pretty good bombardment from all these magic towers. You would assume that there would be some kind of cost affixed to all of these towers so that you couldn't spam them like our opponent is doing. I haven't really taken a look to see if there's any associated upkeep, but I would hope there would be because he really seems to be abusing that system. Now, this location right here has a group of archers ready to go who are actually kind of beat up. Let's take a look, and why aren't they able to Why isn't he restable? Strangely enough. Very strangely, it's not allowing me to rest him. I don't really know. Maybe it's because he's missing a movement point or something. I don't know. In any case, let's take the level up right here. And I just gave them missile resistance. I don't know why I just did that. That was an absolute waste. Let's give them a little bit of resistance to magic. Let's take a look through the units that are ready to roll out. And hopefully we can keep them all safe. So they're fine.
Yes, my lord.
This group right here should rest before they come back over here, because we really don't know what's going to be coming at us in the next turn or two. We could end up fighting on 2 separate fronts. You guys are going to be on sentry duty, so stop bothering me. Stop requesting orders. They've just been sending me all kinds of hasty emails. And by emails, I mean handwritten peasant scribed letters that are in terrible grammar. It's very difficult to figure out what any of them want. And so I'm just going to assign them to sentry guard duty. Now, there are dens of dangerous beasts everywhere, but I think that's all we're going to do for this turn. And that's going to allow him to get to there. Cryptol is going to waste its fire, and so is that town, trying to get rid of some of these nasty little buggers, these little critters. Oh, and good. They're not actually opening fire on my units with those towers. They still seem to be fighting off somebody. More than likely Nicholas Frost. Because I sincerely doubt. I really have no idea why he keeps sending these settlers into my land. I'm not positive what his AI is directing right there, but he appears to be interested in taking something, so I guess that if that's what he's going to do, that's what he's going to do. Now, we do have a pack of ghost wolves over here that have now moved, and I don't know where that's going to leave us. Our wolves should be able to fight off that pack of wolves, not possibly the second one. Depending on levels, they may have gotten, how badly did they get injured by the second one? I'm going to move away from the action here, because I don't really care what Rajak is doing. Okay, good. So,
Yes,
we didn't get any bombardment by spells, which is actually what I was completely and totally worried about. I was worried that he was going to bring in some AoE and try and mop up all my heroes in one go, but luckily he didn't. Let's put one more Shadow Bolt on them, although I can't guarantee it's going to injure them. I didn't check them. Okay, and then we'll get rid of... Oh god, there's so many. There are so many over there. That's really kind of offensive to my delicate sensibility. It's offensive to my... I'm disheartened at the moment. I'll just leave it there. I'll leave it right there and just continue moving. Now, we are going to try and kill off these settlers, basically because it's free XP as far as I know. Yeah, it's free XP, so why not? I'm also going to take a look at... I don't see anything coming at us along those borders. I do see this group of wolves and some minotaurs. So let's get our archers kind of rested up down here. We'll send these level 3 soldiers up here so they can get some action in. We'll also bring these wolves eastward so that we have a little bit more sitting right there, just so we have a little bit of a guard. And let's bring these guys west, because we are going to make another pass. We're going to make another swipe at Dreadspell, because I feel like if we can knock out Dreadspell, it's pretty much going to be downhill. It's going to be all over for our dear, dear friend Rajak. He's not going to have much left if we can manage to take over Dreadspell. Everything else that he has is fairly low level, and I think the cards will crumble in our favor, or the cookie will crumble in our flavor. The cookie will crumble flavorfully in our favor if we can manage to get rid of that city. Now, we have a couple units right here that I am going to take the opportunity to rest. Just leave them where they are. Sweep them down south and to the west to get myself a nice little vanguard to attack there. I'm also going to see, can they build a... Hey, they can. Fantastic. And so we've got another city. It's going to be grabbing this gem mine right here, which is going to give us a nice little supply of cash. It's going to be grabbing that pumpkin farm, which is going to give us even more cash. And so I think we're in a nice spot right now. Have we finished our Cold Crypt? Let's see here. Have we finished? Oh, we have. And so what does this unit do? Let's take a look and find out what our flying galleasses do. So it's an advanced siege unit. It seems as though, let's see here, it's dead. So obviously it's going to do really well versus Rajak. It has bad sight range, but it's also a demolisher. So I think we may actually be in pretty good shape if we can get a couple more of these going. We've got one more being built, and I wanted to get some catapults going as well, but I don't know if that's going to be pertinent for the time being. The catapults also have the negative factor of being very flammable. They're easy to destroy, and with the way Rajak's just been slanging spells at us like crazy, I'm a little paranoid that he's just going to wipe them out with a couple spell casts. So I don't really know if I want to subject my high-end siege units, or my low-end, I guess, my moderate siege units to that kind of bombardery, that kind of hassle. Let's see if we can get rid of these. We're just going to keep bothering him with these towers, because as long as we're dealing with these towers, he can't... Oh, no, there was a... Oh, that sucks. I probably should have brought them over there to take that wolf den. That would have been a much better way to use my time, but as always, I'm not paying attention very well. It's been a long, long day. This weekend has just been a crazy weekend. There's been commencement at my college. There's Mother's Day because obviously I hope you decided to spend time with your mother. If you had the opportunity, don't take it for granted. You should always swing out and have a good time with your mom on Mother's Day because you never know. You never know. There's some people out there who don't have moms, you know, so Mother's Day would be kind of a downer for those people. But I hope you got out there and had fun with your mom on Mother's Day. I was able to go back to my hometown. It was a bit of a drive, but it's worth it for my mom. So it's all good. Drove back to the East Bay, got a little bit of dinner, hung out for a little while, talked, chatted, and then came back home to record this video for you fine folks. And so it looks like he's got 2 groups of ghost wolves over there. Nicholas Frost. I really do hope that Nicholas Frost takes advantage of the situation because he's jealous of us right now. So I would like him to take a couple of King Lich's cities because that's going to get rid of that debuff that he has on us, that jealousy debuff. We want him to be a little bit more similar to us. Let's see what our offer is here. And it looks like Nicholas Frost. Ooh, that's a tough one. He is just draining my mana like crazy with these demands. I don't know if he has too many ghost wolves summoned, but that's the last time I'm going to be able to oblige him. So hopefully he doesn't stay demanding. Now I am going to leave this Gallius right here. What's its movement? Not so good. So I think I'll put the Gallius right there maybe. Flying Gallius! I like the way they put an echo effect on that. That's actually pretty badass. Let's get these wolves healed. We'll send them to the west to fight with these old wolves over here, which I guess for some reason are better than young wolves. You would assume that the old wolves be kind of crippled. I know that dogs tend to have a tendency towards hip dysplasia, but for the case of this, let's assume that they're like dire, which I think in the original writing, like if something was a dire wolf or a dire spider, it meant that it was an ancient spider and did a pretty good job at surviving up until now. We've got a reasonable vanguard over here. There's no reason to think that we're going to run into any problems, so let's get our construction done for the turn. It looks like Bulgaria is ready to roll. And so what we're going to do is we'll take, now that our money is just massively in the know-how, or it's in the production, let's get a magic testing area. I think that's what I'm going to back down and take. I'm not going to take the Wizard's Tower. I'm going to try and get +5 to our research and +5 to our spell casting because we do have a reasonable army upkeep that needs to be offset at this point, and we are too far down the path of magic summoning to really back out now. So we have to stick to the plan, and we've really got to dedicate to it. There's no backing out at this point. We have the opportunity to do a treasure house here at Silverbane, which I think will probably be a good idea. This is one of our main production cities when it comes to gold. I believe from Silverbane, yeah, we're getting 38 gold, so this is going to double our gold production right here, and it's going to put us in a very nice, very comfortable spot where we've got plenty of Skrilla. We've got a merchant here that's, ooh, the Cortana Blade. I think I am actually going to take the opportunity. Yeah, we've got enough money on hand. I'm going to buy it. I may also be forced to bargain with my neighbors. We got a lot of money going on right now. Let's see who we can equip that on. So let's open our Hall of Lords, and Lancelise the Protector up until now has had no weapon. We're going to give that to him, and that's going to give him 10% melee bonus. I don't know if we could, oh, he can wear 2 armors? That's pretty wild. I actually never knew that about Ogre Heroes. So with Lancelise the Protector, what we're going to end up doing is we will give him that, and that's going to give him a big boost to life magic, which is actually pretty substantial considering most undeads are weak to life magic. So he is now probably one of the principal destroyers of our foes. Let's soften up those ancient wolves with some turret fire. And actually that may be a good way for our ogre to spend his time, is to come down here and bash them out and see if he can at least semi get rid of this. Now we got a rat prince, which is a little weird. Can we summon the rat prince, or did the rat prince... Ooh, we got a free hero. Okay. That's an interesting turn of events. I wasn't really expecting that to occur right now, but we do have a large army over here as well. So let's swing this hero out. Oh, he already rested. Never mind, never mind. I don't really want to bring non-magical troops out here. Hopefully the rat prince and the ogre can stave off any of this craziness that's occurring over here. I actually didn't know that we had this dog pile of enemies here. So that actually, let's bring the Gallius over as well. We'll start swinging the Gallius out this way because he should be able to fire on most of these with impunity. We have a level up ready to go with our skeletons, which that's not so great. I mean, the skeletons are all right. I think they're not going to see much action, so I'm going to give them the ticking XP bonus. I'm going to keep them all resting. We've got 15 units to review, so let's put them on sentry to see if we can avoid having this happen in the future. I think I'm going to pull these guys back a little bit, And other than that, let's get rid of that wolf den first and foremost, because that's making me a little nervous. We'll have them swoop into there, destroy that. All of these units are going to fall back to our own territory, just to play the defense role for right now. Just in case King Lich has anything crazy up his sleeves. I'm not really intimidated at the moment. I don't think he's got anything that can really square off with us, but you never know. He may pull an ace in the hole, or he may pull an ace out of his hole to continue the line of thought. And we'll put you guys on sentry for now. We want them to make the first move so that we can swarm, surround, and destroy. Swarm, surround, and slaughter. There we go. I wanted some alliteration on that one. I knew that I wanted some kind of passive alliteration occurring, and so now we've gotten it. And I can rest easy. I can sleep happily tonight knowing that we did that. We've got this unit right here, and why are so many of my units not on sentry? I think I'll pull these guys back to my own territory to avoid the chance that Rajat gets freebie shots on him. I love the fact that these rangers are almost healed completely to the full. And we'll put this wolf unit right there just to make sure that something expendable gets hit. Because when wolves die, we lose the XP, but in the long run, they're a summoned guy anyways, so we're going to get a big boost in our mana production if and when we lose them. So it's not too much of a letdown if they end up dying. I'll bring these units down here, and then other than that, I'm pretty happy where everything is. So let's end the turn. And so he's going to take some shots at our warriors right there from Horrorville, but he's not going to seal the deal. He's not going to run for home plate. He's just going to stop at third base, just like many. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. We're not going to. We're just going to let it go. And so, oh God, the places our minds go, the places they go. It's weird, that twisted little domicile called the human mind. It really is. We've got a Minotaur assault going on up here, so Sweden has some visitors, some literal visitors, if you wanted to rearrange the word a little bit. And what else is occurring here? I kind of just want to skip through all this, guys. I don't really care what you're doing. It looks like we're going to take some bombardment. We could possibly lose our Rat King nice and early, but that would kind of suck. Let's pull him back over to here. And wow, what an eventful turn. So we've got about 10 minutes left in the episode. And our ogre is squaring off against another ogre. However, I don't know if that's the best use of his time. Let's pull him back to our territory and force them to play on our terms. If indeed they want to close the gap with us, they're going to have to pay for it. We'll get them healed up, the Rat Prince that is. I said them, but I don't know why I said them. We'll put this other hero right here, just in case. Maybe we can bait a couple of them to split up, and then we can kind of drive up the middle and wipe them out. We've got completed research, so we've completed our Ice Ring spellcasting ability. It's going to give things Frostbite, and it's also going to lower the resistance to melee and elemental magic, which is a nice side effect. So that's going to be a good debuff/attack. We're going to choose our new research now. And yeah, I'm definitely going to go with something AoE-y. So let's go with Firestorm, I think. I'm going to go for a new building here at Karoth, and we have the opportunity to do a pumpkin farm or a field of ghosts, which allows us to generate ghost armor, it looks like. But I think a pumpkin farm is going to be the better way to go with it, just to get that extra bit of mana. I'd also like to check our quest, and it says there's Blade Masters roaming around right now, so they're actually right on the borders of our territory, so I'm pretty stoked about the fact that I brought some of these skeleton warriors back in to face off. Let's swing them this way. With this grouping of Minotaurs over here, let's soften them up with a volley from the town first. And then we have the opportunity to rest this group of skeletons. We're going to take this group and continue our bombardery. See if we can get a little bit of damage done. If nothing else, they just leveled up, which is always very nice. And so we will take the melee resistance for them. That's actually going to round them out pretty good. Or fairly well, if I wanted to be grammatically accurate with my statement. This group right here is liches. Never mind, there's my group right there. This group is probably never going to make it home, so unfortunately, I am tempted to resign them to their fate. They're in rough shape. They're in real rough shape, so who knows if they're actually going to make it back. Let's swing this group back down. I'd like to shift everything off the offensive for now and see if I can maintain a little bit more defensive posture until we can get ourselves regrouped and ready to roll out against Dreadspell. Now, that group is fully ready to go. And who can we send to the east to deal with these Blade Masters? We need somebody lined up over here. And I'm a little surprised that I don't have veterans on hand. They're only level 1 veterans, but they should be able to get something done. Let's look at their stats. It looks like they've got a whirlwind attack. Oh, God, 43.8 melee damage. That's actually a pretty nasty attack, capable of one-shotting all kinds of stuff. So we may want to put some form of bombardment on these guys before we go too much further. And Descending Fire. These actually cost reputation, so these are a new group of spells that we haven't had to deal with before. We can barter with our reputation to drop spells from a deity on our foes. But we don't really have the money for now. What's Lightning Bolt going to do for me? Let's see if... There we go. Just do a little bit of damage. Just start off the combat against them so that they aren't coming in completely and totally beefcaked out. Just like beefcake! Just like completely overloaded for war. We have the opportunity to take some free shots, which I am not going to bypass. I suppose we'll just bombard those poor settlers. We've been destroying their civilians like wild. Pretty soon there's going to be some kind of injunction against us, I would assume, if indeed there was some kind of wizard UN. Which I guess the wizard UN would be WUN, the one. The one is rallying out against us. Make space for the one. And so I do feel the need down here to sift through some of these nastier foes that we're going to be up against. We have driven them out. Now that's going to allow him to be surrounded. Let's take our Rat Prince, and he doesn't have the opportunity to save himself just now. And I actually think I just backfired my own plan. I may or may not have. Let's see here. We can bring some wolves back out, and we'll put them in front of that ogre right there just to let them soak a bit of damage. Bring the Gallius back out. He can't bombard that far. It's okay though. We're going to clear this out, and actually in the long run I may actually plant some cities out here, which is going to look pretty nice. Let's finish up our level ups, and our rat leveled up, so we'll give him a +2 damage. And there's a changing here. Rajak and King Lich have broken... Oh, they've broken their pact. Okay. And the captured cities here. Monsters have captured Silent Hall, which is not in our visual range, so we can't see it. And a number of units are just begging me for more orders. They're easy like that. They're not so good at improvising without me, so we'll see what we can do here with them. I'm going to swing, I think, everything I have south and around to fight with Dreadspell. I really don't know the volume of soldiers I'm going to need to actually penetrate the walls. It seems like a pretty beef-caked out place. It seems pretty wild and rowdy to actually try and invade that location, so we're going to wait and see for now. Let's form a line right here, just a nice little coherent line. These gents are going to rest one more time before I put them over here to bombard over the lines. These guys are going to possibly come fight with the Blade Masters, although I'd like to feed them a few grist units before I do that. And that's the end of our final turn for this Let's Play. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle to check out Warlock, Master of the Arcane. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my commentary was up to snuff. And I hope I will see you guys next time. That taken care of, take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time.